Friends, welcome to the main event. Help yourselves to cheap champagne and faux fondue. Say hey to your friends and neighbors and fellow Portchucklians. And then relax, kick back, stick around. Because tonight, we're serving up justice in heaping helpings.
The last time we were all together was at Windermere the night the singer died.
Think this has something to do with Stefan?
Hello?
Is everyone ready?
You obviously have a plan. Why don't you just fill us in?
You'll know soon enough.
Transportation's on the way.
You really think that we're all going to get into a car?
That is exactly what I expect you to do.
Don't worry. It's a nice ride.
Who was it?
He didn't say, but he obviously has a plan, and he thinks that we're all going to go along with it.
Did you recognize the voice?
He disguised it. Badly. I don't think we're in any danger. Living arrangements aside, perhaps Lucky isn't here, because Lucky is a police officer now, and if something illegal happened, it would have to be stopped. And I don't think our host is that thrilled with his son trading places.
You know how long?
Howdy,
So did you.
friends.
The hearse was over the top.
To the main event. Help yourselves to cheap champagne and faux fondue. Say hey to your friends and neighbors and fellow Portchucklians. And then relax, kick back, stick around. Because tonight, we're serving up justice in heaping helpings. Now, feel free to sit anywhere you like, except, of course, the chair draped in black, which is in memory of my son, the traitor, who ain't invited.
I've had enough.
I figure by now, Natasha is headed for the door. Alexis! Stop right there, honey. You ain't going anywhere. Not while I still need you.
Someone just
So,
locked the door.
it's magic time, people. Get ready, because the ride's about to begin. Our guest of honor is on his way. Changing plans.
Anything?
No, all the windows are boarded up. I couldn't find anything strong enough to break through.
So we really are stuck?
Thank you all for coming. As you can see, the guest of honor has arrived. Right this way. Please, gentlemen, sit down. Sit down, please. Here you go, right in the dock, sir. Up,
I don't think there's any point in me trying to talk you out of this, is there?
Oh, Natasha, you better than anyone know that everyone deserves their day in court. And this is yours, Stefan Cassidy. The charge is murder one. Something tells me you're guilty as sin.
On the next General Hospital.
We're serving up justice tonight, hot and fresh from the oven. Miss Quartermain, you were out of town for a while.
I went to Stanford.
And before you went away, what was your relationship with the defendant?
I knew him as Nicholas's uncle, nothing more.
Now, you, Nicholas, Lucky Spencer, and Elizabeth Weber have been friends for a long time, is that correct?
Yes.
And did the defendant object to your friendship with Nicholas?
He didn't seem to mind.
So it was only after you came back from Stanford and Nicholas's feelings for you became more serious that he copped attitude.
Yes.
What would he do?
Well, at first he was horribly rude, ordering me to stay away from Nicholas. And when that didn't work, he resorted to threats.
Threats. Why do you think a grown man would be so invested in the romantic life of his nephew?
I didn't realize it at the time, but there was a lot of money at stake.
Ah, the root of all evil.
Stefan wanted Nicholas to marry Lydia Karenin. She came with a huge inheritance, and the Cassadines needed it.
What do you remember about the night Summer died?
It was foggy. Summer and I were wearing similar coats, but I didn't think much of it at the time. And I remember how shocked Stefan was to see me after Summer died.
Yeah, that must have been a real jaw-dropper since you were the one who was supposed to take the swan dive that night.
There is no evidence to support that theory.
Liar!
Excuse me, you must be Lydia,
Nice to meet you, too.
the new blue blood in town. Would you care to take the stand?
My pleasure.
Thank you, Miss Quartermain. You called the defendant a liar. Would you care to elaborate?
After Summer was pushed off the bluff, I walked in on Stefan berating Darius for botching the job.
But you said nothing.
I couldn't. Stefan threatened to frame me for the murder if I didn't keep quiet. Lucky convinced me to get Stefan's confession on tape.
You must have really lost it to let a neophyte like this roll you over.
The tape is a fabrication concocted by your son to make me look guilty. Besides, it's irrelevant. The tape was thrown out of court.
Not out of my court, it wasn't. Alexis, come on down.
No, it's over. This case is dismissed. What do you think you're doing? You want to go back to prison again?
The kind of law you represent doesn't apply here. Didn't I make that clear?
Isn't what happened to Summer the reason you became a cop? Luke's trying to get to the truth of it. Are you on board with this? So all the way I am.
You want justice for Summer? You'll never get it through your friends, the cops, or D.A. Baldwin. This is the only way.
Not for crying out loud, Lucky. Arrest him!
Stop it!
I cared a lot about Summer. Who knows what it could have been? You know, Summer was a good person. She moved here to get a fresh start on life, and you took it all away. Now she'll never know. Now the bastard.
All right. The witness may stand down. Officer Spencer, you can take that chair. All right, let's move on. Natasha, would you stand, please? This will only take a moment. Please.
Yes,
You are the defendant's sister,
yes,
and you have been loyal to him through the years, correct?
yes.
Is it fair to say that you've loved him?
Very much.
You're a liar. You loved me when it was convenient for you.
We'll get to you later. So, if anybody would give the defendant the benefit of the doubt, it would be you, wouldn't it?
I have seen the good in him, and I chose to believe it.
Do you believe that he ordered Emily Quartermain murdered?
I believe that he would have done anything to prevent her marriage to Nicholas.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And do you believe that instead he was responsible for the death of Summer Holloway?
Yes.
Thank you. You may sit down. The prosecution calls Stefan Cassadine. So how do you respond to the accusations made against you?
I categorically deny them.
All these people are lying.
It would appear so.
For what reason?
I wouldn't know.
Oh, take a wild guess. Start with Emily Quartermain.
She's In love with my nephew.
Well, it seems to me that would put her on your side. Except that your nephew turned against you, didn't he?
He doesn't know what he's saying.
Nicholas, would you like to reconsider anything that you've said here?
No. No, in fact, I'd like to add a little something.
Oh, please, go ahead. A fair and just court is always flexible.
I've been fighting against hating you for a long time. Because it didn't feel right. It didn't feel right to have unconditional love replaced by a feeling that's so cold and dead inside my soul. But you know what? You brought it on yourself. You brought it on yourself when you decided that a woman you knew I loved was expendable. There's no coming back from that.
I was trying to protect you. That's what my entire life has been about. You have no idea what I've done for you. All I've given up. But I did it. I did it gladly. Thankfully. Because you were the only light in my otherwise miserable life. You still are. And because you are the Cassadine future. We would have been fine. If not for Helena. Once again, she ruined everything. Frittering away in 1 year. A fortune that took generations to build. I wasn't going to let you suffer for her foolishness. That's why I took out that damnable loan. And then, Nicholas, when the creditors threatened to kill you, I was desperate to find the funds to repay them. That's why I made arrangements with Lydia's grandfather for the two of you to marry. I tried to warn Emily. I tried to warn her to stay away and go have her life with Xander, but she wouldn't listen. Why couldn't you just go away? None of this would have happened if she'd gone away. I didn't want to kill Emily. I didn't want to kill Summer. Nicholas, it was you or Emily. Surely you can understand that, Nicholas, when you love someone so deeply, whether it be a child, a husband, a wife. But don't you go to any lengths for that person? Don't you do whatever it takes to protect them? Lie, cheat, steal, even kill for them, don't you? Surely you can understand that, Nicholas. Tell me you understand that, Nicholas.